Hi guys, before I start this video, I just wanted to say this isn't a diet video and this isn't a video that's going to tell you some super strict rules to magically drop 10 pounds. I'm sorry if that's what you're expecting. This isn't that. This is a video about all the tips and tricks and habits that I've integrated into my own lifestyle that have just changed me both mentally and physically, gotten me to the point where I am today, and just make me feel my best. So try them, don't try them, do whatever you want, but all I ask of you is focus on what makes you feel your best. So this video is inspired by probably my most asked question of all time, which is, how do you eat whatever you want and not gain weight? So let me tell you all the habits, all the tips and tricks that have helped me, and maybe they'll help you too. Let me start by telling you guys a bit about my backstory. Coming from a background in modeling, I was exposed to diet culture pretty early on, and I thought if I just found the right diet or I just followed the next extreme workout plan, that I would achieve my quote-unquote goals. The more restrictive diets I followed, the more extreme workout programs, the further away I got from my results. I experienced non-stop bloating, inflammation, low energy, and most importantly, I just didn't feel like myself. This is what made me make the switch to a mindset that focused on being the best version of me and listening to what makes my body feel its best. So number one is focusing on the quality of the foods that you're eating. I believe in eating whole foods. This means the foods that probably don't come with a nutrition label, that don't come pre-packaged and are sitting on a shelf. They're the foods that you can recognize and are a whole ingredient by itself. When I think of whole foods, I think of a farm. I think of things like fruits, vegetables, eggs, different forms of protein, things that are whole and as real as possible. And by focusing on real and whole foods, you don't need to be looking at the nutrition label, because calories don't matter as much as we've been told. The ingredients are really what we should be focusing on, and chances are if you can't pronounce an ingredient, you probably shouldn't be eating it. And by focusing on the quality of foods, that doesn't mean cutting things out. For instance, if you're craving cookies, instead of going to the store and buying some store-bought cookies that have been sitting on the shelf for a few months, go home and make some cookies with your friends or your family, because I promise you're gonna be using much cleaner ingredients than those ones from the store. You're gonna have way more fun doing it, and I promise you they're gonna taste amazing. Number two, focus on how food makes you feel. And I know this sounds silly, but it's more important than you think. Because I follow a simple rule, and it's, if it doesn't make me feel good, I don't want to eat it. For instance, it's not that I heavily avoid fast food or I label it as really bad. It's just something that doesn't make me feel good, so I don't naturally crave it. Also, the amount of food you eat can contribute to how you feel, because as someone who would actively eat till they're like 150% full, I just wouldn't feel that good afterwards. So stop when you're at a good level, when you're satisfied and you still feel good. And of course, sometimes you overeat, but it's all about balance. It's what you do 80% of the time. If you overindulge the 20%, that's completely fine. We all do that. But eating until you're 80% full and eating to when you feel like satisfied and you feel good is great, because food is supposed to be fuel. It's supposed to leave you feeling energized and refueling your body. It's not supposed to make you feel heavy and sluggish. Point number three is focus on balance, because you can drive yourself crazy focusing on foods that are off limits or labeling foods as bad, because trust me, I've been there, and they just consume you and it becomes something that you just crave and think about non-stop, that when it's put in front of you, you can't control yourself and you end up binging and feeling horrible, and it just creates this terrible cycle that you get yourself into. So by not labeling anything as bad or off limits or certain foods as good or healthy, it creates a balance and this balanced mindset. Think of this as an overall mindset that you integrate into your lifestyle. Some days you might be able to cook everything at home. Some days you might be traveling or having to eat out all the time. It's all about balance and what you do majority of the time and the choices that you make. Focus on balance in every aspect of your life, whether it's work, your social life, your food, your workouts, everything. Never take it to the extreme, because that's when you might fall into an unhealthy, unhappy cycle. Also, apply it to your plate. And by a balanced plate, I mean it has healthy fats, healthy carbs, veggies, and a quality source of protein. So going off of point 3, point 4 is all about mindset. Like I said, instead of labeling anything as off limits or bad, I just listen to how the food makes me feel and I honor that feeling. By doing so, I automatically reach for the food that makes me feel good and I don't want to eat the food that makes me feel bad. I'll enjoy my bowl of pasta, but I won't necessarily order seconds all the time. And I'll enjoy my pizza, but I won't necessarily eat the entire thing. And this is not to say that I don't go overboard sometimes. Sometimes I need the entire pizza, but like I said, it's all about balance. But by telling myself that nothing's off limits and there's nothing bad, I don't limit myself, I don't feel deprived, and I don't create that scarcity mindset. I feel like I can treat myself whenever I want, and it removes the stress from eating or any of the pressure around it. And I can indulge without losing complete control because there is no scarcity mindset. And I eat with mindfulness, which allows me to be conscious while I'm eating and checking with my body to see how it feels. This also helps prevent any guilt that I might have once experienced when I enjoy my favorite foods. And there is no pressure of being restricted or feeling like I'm following some super strict diet that I did once upon a time. So to conclude this video, if you take away 2 things, I hope it's that listen to your body, see what makes you feel good, and honor that. And remember, this is what I personally found helpful, and if it doesn't work for you, that's okay. It's not one size fits all. It's just all about the quality of the food and the quality of ingredients that you're putting into your body, focusing on balance and just incorporating that into your overall mindset. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you found it helpful. Please let me know what else you want to see on this channel. Anyways,